I'm not snatched enough. Snatch me. Hello, my name is Nadra. Ladder Beauty says my name. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it. I am finally dropping this video. It is my most requested video. If you do have any questions about what step I took in this video, please make sure to pop them in the comment section. This video is going to be a long one, but trust me when I tell you it's detailed. I try to go as slow as possible and as easy as possible, and I understand and explain why I took some steps when doing this video. Yeah, I have no product on my face and for some reason on my hands, just so I can show you exactly what I mean when I say I'm going to be working with my face and working with my features, because I feel like that is the best way I've been able to achieve the best makeup look. If I look this way and I look this way, you could clearly see that the light naturally is there, like right there, and I'm going to be working on that and taking note of that when I'm putting my makeup on, because I do want that bit there to have the light naturally eating it, even though I've got makeup on. And you can see right here up to about here, then here, and then somewhere here, and then somewhere up here, I've got, my skin is naturally brighter in those areas, so that is exactly where I'm going to be putting my concealer. And if I turn like this, you can see I've got like an hyperpigmentation right underneath my cheekbones. I'm also going to be working with that because that is exactly where I'm going to be putting my contour. So when I'm following my features when doing my makeup, it just blends together because it is what is on my face already. I'm just adding product to all the same spots, so it just works really great. And when I do my eyeliner, one last bit there, my eyes naturally has that bit right there in the corner there. I follow exactly that line, like that line right there. I'm doing my eyeliner. So my face is the guide when doing makeup, not the I mean the technique does go a long way, but my face is the guide when I'm doing my own makeup. When I was like learning to do makeup and watching a lot of makeup tutorials, most of them, even till now, I'll just go in straight with the primer instead of a proper, like instead of doing skincare. But I have really dry skin, as you can see, so if I skip the thing and even go straight to the primer, or like an hydrating primer or something, it's not gonna work for me because my skin is also sensitive as well. So I don't introduce, it takes a while for me to fully introduce a product or any product into my skin, because if my skin doesn't like it, it literally like rejects it and I start breaking out. Like, oh, it's so fancy, what the hell. Sometimes when I watch a makeup tutorial, I usually just keep the skincare a bit because I know my skin. So do whatever works with your skin, and whenever you follow the makeup tutorial, try to integrate every routine you've got and just kind of like adjust that tutorial to your already routine. Does that make sense? So it's just so that when you're introducing something to your face and it doesn't go right, so you know how to fix it because you already do something else. I usually keep my skincare, I always do the skincare, but I try to keep it minimal. This is the best moisturizer I've used. I have been using it since like last year, and oh my god, every time I try to use something else, let's say I run out, my face literally just throws a tantrum, and it's so annoying because I actually get it online because it's like a Korean skincare product. So if you see me looking this way, because my mirror is right here and the phone camera is right here, so the most important bit, the base is done. Whatever I add on here, it could be optional. So it's sunny right now, it's during the day, I always do sunscreen. Or if it's during the night, I just go straight and then put the primer on top of that. This is the number one sunscreen. I've been using this for like 2-3 years by now. It's the best. It's great for sensitive skin, like awesome. It looks white at first, but the moment you rub it in, it just blends. I love it under my makeup because it doesn't get greasy at all. to get all the excess sunscreen out of my eyebrows. Like I said, I have dry skin, so I'm always moisturizing my ends. Well, now let's get into the fun bit, the makeup. So I usually start with my eyebrows and my eyes, but I do know I want to do some nice eyeshadow color today, so I'm just gonna put some primer on my eyelid and on my nose, because that is exactly the only place on my face that I get oily skin. Like, I am not going to do a makeup tutorial without giving credit where it's due. Number one, credit to myself for sticking to makeup. Anyways, credit to myself for learning how to do my makeup. I've been learning to do my own makeup since I was like 15. I'm 22 now, so it's been years, but even that, I am still actively learning. I think my makeup base and my makeup techniques right now are like derived from mostly the videos that I've watched from Riche Naturaria. She's on YouTube, she's on Instagram, she's on TikTok. I credit my base to her, although I've kind of like incorporated this base routine into my technique and then made it my face, like adjusted to my face. I still follow some of her like makeup techniques, and surprisingly my eyeshadow skills and techniques comes from this guy on YouTube. And I was just scrolling through like YouTube eyeshadow tutorial on YouTube, and that's exactly how I found this video, and oh my god, that was great. So if you need like a beginner video on how to do your eyeshadow, I would recommend watching Robert Welsh on YouTube. Before I always get started on my makeup, I always have a wipes and tissue near me, because I use the back of my hand as palette, and that could literally get everywhere. So but it's a detailed tutorial, so I am going to tell you every single thing that you need to know so you could replicate this on your face and it will turn out well, trust me. So starting with the face, the eyebrows. I don't do too much with my eyebrows because I love going to the professionals and having them shape my eyebrows. That way when I'm doing my makeup I could just ignore my eyebrows, and because of that my eyebrows seems to have it's in shape. Like, although there's some bit that's like outgrown and then I probably need to go do my eyebrows again, but it has a good shape. This is the brush that I use. It's an elf brush. Just to know, most of the product that I'm using in this tutorial are drugstore product and all product that are not too pricey. This is elf brush. I got it from Kmart. It was like $4 back then. It's still running, it's still good. So I am going, my eyebrows already have its own shape, so I am going to just outline, like clean it up. Not doing too much. I do the tail first and then the beginning first and just connect it in the middle. I love to like blend it. Oh, I forgot. It's CoverGirl. I'm not sure what color this is, but CoverGirl Cappuccino. It's so hard to get makeup when you like dark skin, so most of the time when I learned to do my makeup, I just did my makeup with whatever was available, and that kind of like it taught me to work with whatever I've got to achieve what I want. I'm gonna blend this right soon. Same thing on the other side, starting with the tail. I'll blend this into my thingy. It's just so I can see what I'm working with. Starting with the edge and then just connect it in the middle. But for the sake of this tutorial, I am showing you how I do my eyebrows. There's that. I don't want to do anything else to it. This is my concealer brush. It's from Morphe. It's really the best because of that white brush thing. So I am going to add more concealer onto that and then just blend it. Tap, tap, tap. Don't drag. I was going to actually like play some music in the background while I do this, but I was researching like I don't want to start getting copyright checks right now because I'm just starting out. That would be really hard. So I researched whether I could play music and how long I could play music for, but there's so much rules with that, so I just decided to not play music at all, so you're gonna hear me yap. This video is gonna be long. It's gonna be like 45 minutes. I can see it, but I am going in as much detail as possible. If you do have any other questions or something else you'd like me to explain more on, please pop them in the comment section. Oh my god, I'm spending so much time on my eyebrows right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna blend that bit out. I am gonna leave it exactly where it is. Like, I'm not blending that bit close to my eyebrows because I'm going to be putting foundation on top of it anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm just blending out the edge so it doesn't look weird. And what I was talking about earlier about the wipes, I could just wipe this and go. I have really oily eyelids, and any more product that the more product I put on there, the more potential it has to just separate. So let's move on to the eyeshadow. I basically use like my eyeshadow to set my eyelid. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is the eyeshadow that I use. I also use a Kmart one, but this is the one I'm going to be using today. I'm going to be taking that one, that brown. It looks very similar to like the concealer that I've got on my face, so I'm going to be using that on my eyelids to start with. Also, this elf brush is from Kmart as well. I was gonna tap on that. I just go with that. I kind of like just put it in there. If you're introducing like a new product, put it on the brush, tap it, and then rub it in. But because I'm going to be technically using this to set my concealer and it's like my base color, I just put it everywhere and then just blend it as I go. But if you do want to know like how to do your eyeshadow, check out that video by Robert Welsh eyeshadow video. See how that like blends in with what I've already got on? Yeah, that's exactly why I'm saying I basically use that to set my concealer. So there's that. I said I was going to be working with the structure of my face, so I normally start my eyeshadow about there. That way whatever concealer I'm putting can start from there and then stop right there. This is a fluffy brush. It's the best when you blending, but if you packing on colors, maybe you need a flat brush for that. And on the other side, I have so much eyelid space, but because I've got like crease on my eyelids, most of the product or like most of the eyeshadow like just hides in there. That's why I don't really do too much of eyeshadow. You can barely see it anyways. And I'm doing it in this section so that you could also do it with me. I'm just going to use that tissue to get rid of that color on that brush. I'm going to be going in with the dark brown in that palette right there, just on my outer corner there, so it's a bit darker. That dark brown right there, I'm gonna pack it on, tap tap tap, because I don't need too much of this, so I'm gonna tap it, tap off the excess, and then right in my corner right there, I'm just gonna focus on that down bit there, like on an angle, and then the rest you just buff it up there. Like it doesn't show you, but it's quite a lot. It's pigmented. Then another one, tap tap tap, and just go into the angle again, concentrate on the color in that space there, and then the rest just pop it in. See how it has like that V shape kind of there? You kind of like want to blend that in, and then maybe elongate that bit there. See how my V shape kind of like ends at the end of the crease there? That is intentional because by the time I close my eyes, it kind of like becomes one. The rest is just to blend, drag it out if it makes it more cohesive. Alright, the following eyes. This is going to be like my tutorial side, and this is going to be like my copy side. So if I don't actually follow the rules of the side on the side, just know that I'm just doing it in my own time, like how we normally do it. Am I done enough? You have to check if it's like the same, or if not, you just have to keep going. Now we're gonna use one of the shimmer right here. On my iPhone, I have the bottom bit and the top bit. I am going to be putting it right on the bottom bit, using the shimmer right at the bottom here to here, right at the bottom here to here, and it looks great. That is exactly how I achieved that look. Let's start with my eye makeup first, because eye makeup sometimes get messy actually be working with glitter and stuff, so I prefer to start with that first, so in case it does get messy I could just wipe the rest of my face and start again. So I am going to be, when you apply shimmer with your fingers, you get more pigment that way and sometimes more control. Right there where I've got the dark eyeshadow is about there, so I'm going to be stopping right there. It does get, I'm stopping exactly where my throat, and I'm just gonna tap it to the darker eyeshadow we put there, just so it kind of like blends. I'm just gonna tap it a tiny bit, so I'm not really introducing more glitter to that area, but more like blending it, and then right there I'm just sorting it out, and then I try to go into the front as much as possible. There we go with that part. Now for the second bit. Oh my god, this is what I'm saying about why I try not to put it above that lid, because if I put it up there and I close my eyes and I open it, it's already transferred. When this happens, this is how I fix it. Use a double-sided tape, but only use one side. So I'm gonna gently, be careful with the double-sided tape because you could end up taking off your skincare and everything on your face. I also use the double-sided tape to get rid of glitter when I'm doing my makeup. Like I've got glitter there and there, I'm gonna use the double-sided tape to get rid of it once I'm done. So since I already took off half of that, I'm gonna go back in with that eyeshadow there and just go in back and then fix whatever. One thing I've learned while doing my makeup is that sometimes it doesn't go right, like exactly how you want it, because I'm not practicing as much as I would want to, so sometimes it doesn't always turn out right. The main thing is knowing how to fix it when it goes wrong. This is a flat brush as well from e.l.f. It says eyeshadow. I'm just going to use that to blend that one there because it doesn't look blended as compared to the first one. That's everything for my eyeshadow. I am now going to use this double-sided tape, it's not a strong one, to get rid of this excess glitter. So that method also helps when you're taking off your makeup. You can just put that on top of it and clean it and get off the glitter before actually washing your face so it doesn't get everywhere. But this glitter is grey, like the moment I just rub it in with some oil cleanser. The most drama on my face is usually the eyeshadow. Makeup literally lasts so long, even on days that I'm not doing too much. Starting with this one. I found this product at Chemistry House, but Chemistry House doesn't sell it anymore. Anyways, regardless of the chaos this makeup is gonna eat, it's gonna slap, it's gonna eat the whole of USA up. Anyways, I'm going to go in with my foundation. I will use a tiny bit of foundation because I have sensitive skin, so sometimes my foundation, when I have too much product on my face just feels heavy. I use a fluffy brush for my foundation, that motion, and I'm just gonna tap. I like to tap it everywhere. Whatever product I've got on my brush, I tap it everywhere, then I blend after that, just so I don't have too much foundation on my face. Because once you have, it's better to have little and then add more than to have too much and not know what to do with it. So I start off with little, and if I need to add more, I just go in with more. I put my foundation everywhere except there, because on my under eye creases a lot, so I try not to put too much product under there. So I only add my concealer there. I'm gonna quickly add a primer underneath my eyelid. I don't usually put like primer there, but in my e.l.f. with the under eye creasing, the same way it helps with my oily nose. Let's continue with the foundation. Look how seamless that looks. I'm going to put it out there. I do not put foundation on my neck. I tried it one time and I was like, yeah, nah, this is not for me. I hate putting foundation on my neck. If you put foundation on your neck, it's fine, but for me, I just don't feel comfortable with foundation on my neck, because it feels overstimulating for me. I already don't like putting too much foundation on and you're telling me to drag it all the way to my neck. Nah, not for me. Because of that, when I do my makeup, I match my face to my neck, so that way even if I'm not putting any foundation on my neck, my face and my neck still match. Like I said earlier, I put my foundation on top of that concealer there, so I just kind of like lightly brush it. You can still see like my eyebrows are still like shaped, but you can barely see the concealer on the top there, so I just slightly put whatever is left on the brush on my nose, because my nose gets really oily, so I don't do too much that as well. Alright, look how flawless that looks like. It looks like skin. I blend and blend and blend because I need my makeup to look unified. It needs to look one. It needs to look like they're married. I don't color correct, but if you want like a clear skin base, you can color correct, but I don't, because I don't see the point. I work my features and my features work with me. So, but see how even though I've got foundation on, you can still see that bit there that I said I put my contour on. I'm just going to be wearing contour for the sake of this video. But normally after this step, I just go in with my concealer and then my bronzer right after. Before I do my contour and my bronzer, I am just going to go in with my concealer, so that way it sets while I do the rest of my face. So, my concealer, I am just going to stop about here. I put like a fair bit on there, then drag it down. I put a lot, but I don't do too much. I am gonna start around there. You take notes, do it with me. It's right about there because that is the brighter piece. I usually skip there because there's no need to put it there, and then I just usually put most of the product underneath my eyes and then my nose there. I put it exactly where they like it, just somewhere there. I do, although I end up putting like concealer there and there, sometimes I left over from there and there it goes there. I'm just gonna go in with a lot on my nose so I could put the leftover from my nose there. And I'm going to do my contour. My contour is actually like a hold. I can't believe I used this on top of, like, applied this as foundation. I used it when I didn't know like my right color shade. Now that I do, it's my contour. Barely anything in there, but I don't want to buy another one because I barely use contour. I don't like contour like that, but I am doing one for the sake of this video because sometimes it helps me with like my full glam. I am going to be putting this right where I have that eye pigmentation, which is right there. I'm just gonna tap that in a bit. I am going to be blending that, but I'm just gonna put it right there for now. That is contour goes right underneath your cheekbones, that should do. And I'm just gonna put it right there as well, just to give me snatched. That's where like my shadows are, so I'm just gonna follow that. Use a fluffy brush, and if you're beginner, just skip the contour. You'll be fine without the contour, just skip it honestly. And out. If I put anything right here, I try to blend it up because when light hits my face, it goes like that. Try to follow that when I'm blending my product. It just frames my face better. So I work with my face. I am constantly working with my face. Sometimes I wonder if I have like rosacea or something because I've only got concealer on, no blush. But that B already looks like that's blush. Going in with the bronzer. For my bronzer, I also use this flat, fluffy brush as well. It's from Kmart. This bronzer is e.l.f. bronzer. It's literally almost eat the pan. I use it quite often. I am going to be putting my bronzer right on top of that contour. My bronzer, it looks dark, but when I put it on my skin, it doesn't look as dark. But that's just because it oxidized. Then I just tap that. It's a fluffy flat brush, so it's kind of like tapping the product in but also blending it. And I'm also at the same time not just putting the product on my face but also blending it into my face. There's a lot of blending involved in this makeup tutorial. It's gonna take a while, but it's gonna look seamless because you took the time to carefully blend all those products into your face. I'm also going to be putting some, I put like contour right there. I'm just going to be tapping some of that into there, like the leftovers from the brush into there. For the next part, I am going to be putting that bronzer by the side of my nose and just dragging it off to the top. I also use the powder blender as well, so I don't go in too much with the cream bronzer. Alright, just realized that I didn't bring my foundation in properly there, so I'm just gonna blend that together. My attitude towards my makeup is nonchalant because why freak out about something I can fix? And I'm going in with the blush, blush as well. It's like a reddish blush and I really love this color. It's so beautiful. I am going in with an angle fluffy brush. It's very fluffy, also from Kmart, and I'm going to just swoosh that in from the pan. I do a little first and then continue. I just dab that a tiny bit first and then the rest on the other side, just so I know that I'm not using too much. For my blush placement, you see how earlier I was talking about I haven't put blush on but it looks like I put blush on? That is exactly where I'm going to be putting my blush because my face already told me that is exactly where that blush needs to go. I like to do my blush around here because that is exactly what works for my face features. Some people's blush work for them there when they put it there, just there, and some people work when they put it just there. Some people work when they put it there, but for me I need to put it like that. I started with a little because once you put too much blush it's hard to like blend, so I started a little and build up, and this blush, like, the little goes a long way. But even if you put too much, you could easily control this blush because it's just so pretty, especially if you got that skin. It blends, when I tell you blends seamlessly. That side is perfect there because I'm also going in with a powder brush, so powder blush, and then sinking on the side, blending it in there. I hold my brushes as close because sometimes it's not the right brush. When you're watching makeup tutorials to tell you what brush to use, but I like to use what brush I can find. Like I said, I was learning makeup using drugstore product, so you couldn't always find everything unless you go to like Sephora and all this thing. So I learned to do my own makeup wherever I had. Sometimes if I wanted like a flat brush to like do that, I used to like hold the brush together like that just so I could get back. So if I'm using this, when I'm using this to like holding it to the tip just so I could do that, get more control there, that is because I'm supposed to be using a slightly dense brush that is angular to do that bit. But rather than buying a new one, I could just hold it together like that. My concealer should be like really dried by now. This brush again, now we blend. Moment of truth. There's no moment of truth yet, but like, now we blend. Blending my concealer does take a lot of time, but it can make or break this makeup look. So I do not put too much product there. See how earlier I was talking about how I'm gonna put my concealer exactly here and then drag it down because that is exactly the brightest part of my face. That is exactly what I'm going to do. I stopped my concealer there, so I'm going to actually drag. I'm going to blend this bit here, and then whatever's left of it, I just gotta like drag it out instead of putting product all the way there because I only need a tiny bit of product in this corner. So there we go, and then once I drag it out, I'll just connect it. This concealer is great and really affordable. Concealer is like almost dry, but it still blends really seamlessly. And then the leftover goes there and then there. I don't want to introduce more concealer into that bit there, because if I do that, it's gonna get too bright than I want it to be, and it's already a bright spot. Then I just blend and blend seamlessly. Take my time with the blending. I moved that concealer into that nose bit there, like into my nose, and just leave it a tiny bit there because it looks that way. I could get my nose snatched without using too much product. I also like to move it up and down there. It's all in the blending. You gotta blend. I still have leftover on this brush. I'm just gonna use that to like drag it down a bit to give like a template, and then I'll just blend that in. See, I already look snatched. Compare this side to this side. Like there's only a tiny. I'm still snatching this side because you can see so that side is clearly brighter, but it's just like to give a tiny bit of a oomph before I put the powder. But you can just skip this step and then use the powder straight away. But I am using leftover for my brush anyway, so this doesn't really matter. Now on the other side as well. I am pushing my concealer in towards my nose so I get that snatched, concealed, contoured nose look without necessarily putting too much product on my nose. So I am also gonna blend that in and then use that leftovers to drag it out. I like to drag it upwards so it looks snatched. And if I do manage to get more concealer on that bit, I just go in with my bronzer or the blush to fix it, because it's little product anyways in that area, so it's easy to fix. When you got little product, it's easy to fix mistakes than when you got gigantic product. So it's that little. I also like to take a step back to see if it's rhyming with each other, like if it's in the same spot. Don't forget in that corner bit there too. There, I leave that bit empty there because it gives me that, it enhanced that pouty look there when I've got lip product on, like lip liner on. So I'm going to use the leftover for my nose on there. I use leftovers in this area because I want it to be bright, but I don't want to do too much. Let's continue. I forgot to tell you, but I put the leftover from my brush there and just blend it to the other side underneath that contour like I did on that side as well, to give me that snatched defined look. So a beauty blender, I'm gonna wet this beauty blender, just like make it damp a bit, and then I am just going to use that to blend my concealer together. That's what makes it exceptionally seamless. Bronzer, blush, and brush, and my blush brush to just kind of like go in again on top of that, because I managed to get concealer in those areas. So I am just going to go on top of that with the blush, with the both brushes, and just use the leftovers on that brush to fix that bit there. So damp sponge, I am just going to go over it. It's already kind of like dry, but it's just to like blend that seamlessly and take away any excess product. Down to the side and then to the side. You can see the difference, like the way it's like it blended and incorporated together. So this is what you want to achieve. You want your look to look very uniform. That way it looks more like skin, like effortlessly. Oh, big words. Look at that. And I'm just going to do the same thing on this side. Remember when you do this, there's going to be like excess product on your sponge. So be careful not to like reintroduce more product to areas you don't want there to be. So the leftovers from the sponge, I'm just going to be putting in those areas that I normally put my leftovers. It looks blended, incorporated, whatever word. Now I'm going to be using my first setting spray. So I have 3 setting sprays, 2 of which is Australis. Australis is not an Australian makeup brand. You can easily get their products from Priceline. I keep talking about this product, but apparently not too much people use it. I thought it was like popular on TikTok, but not too much people use it. But I really love the product. This, see how tiny this looks? Is there even anything in here? When I tell you, makeup artists use this for like artists to perform, because it's like, oh my god, I only use this when I'm going to a concert that I know I'm gonna be out for like 10 hours and I'm gonna be sweating. Other than that, I never use this. But this will like, it feels like glue on your face. Like it glues down your makeup to your face. Nothing you touch this. If you tap a wet towel on your face with this on, it would not move your makeup. I use this in between my makeup to kind of like blend everything together, and I use this to set my makeup. I use this for like my everyday, not everyday makeup, but like if I know I'm not going to be out for like maybe 2-3 hours. But I've used this before and it lasts me like 10 hours. So if I know I'm not going to be doing too much when I'm going outside, but I want my makeup to look set and not move, I use this on my fan first, because I'm going to be drying my face as soon as I put this on, so my makeup does not move. I'm gonna do that first, just so I remember how well it sprays first. Then I'm gonna go in with that. I also love the setting spray because it's like dewy, so it's a way to add back all the glow into my face whenever, especially after I do like the powder. Now let's go in with the powder stuff. I need to finish this video before I lose before I lose the natural light, because it's kind of going into winter now, so we barely get natural light anymore. And now I'm gonna set everything that I've done with a beauty powder. I try not to use too much set powder because my under eye creases a lot, and I realized using too much powder actually makes that worse. Some people use brush to set their thing. I just figured out this thing powder puff just works so well for me, so I am just gonna use that to set every single spot that I put concealer. I usually forget that inner corner there on my nose, so I'm not gonna forget today, because sometimes when my nose gets oily, that's the bit that falls apart first. I'm going to be using powder bronzer, so that would correct things as well in place I put the powder in the place that I don't want it to be. My forehead as well, and I move it close to my eyebrows. When I put the first layer of my setting spray on, sometimes it accumulates there, so I just try to like blend it. I don't mind when you can clearly see like the shine on my eyebrows. I love it, it goes so well with my look. But sometimes when it starts there and then there's no shine there, it looks awkward, so I just remove the shine from there, or at least make it little. Then I go on top of my nose, trying not to put too much powder there because I have smile lines. I do not hate my smile lines, like I actually genuinely love them because it shows that I smile a lot. I'm also gonna put a tiny bit of powder where I put that there in the corner. So
can I be snatched more?
I'm not snatched enough, snatch me. I could literally just stop at this point, but no. The powder blush and powder bronzer. My bronzer, I don't know, for some reason it does not look like it would be the right color, but when I put it on and then let it oxidize, it just works. Like this does not look like it's my shade, but when I put it on and then I put a setting spray on top of it, it looks perfect, it looks fine. And for this brush, I actually bought 2 of this brush because I want there to be one that does specifically my blush and one that does my bronzer. With this brush, it's very dense, it's not as fluffy. It's fluffy but not as fluffy, it's like dense. It doesn't, see how it stops right there? It's dense and it's like firm. Dust. And then I'm just gonna put it every single place that I put my bronzer. Every single place that I put my bronzer. It looks gorgeous. I also have 2 of the same brush because I want one to be for blush and one to be for bronzer, and I use this only for my nose. So I'm gonna take one of those brushes for my nose, and I'm just gonna, and I'm doing that to shape my nose. I love this shade of bronzer because it matches kind of like the base shade that I use on my eyeshadow, so I can easily just do that, blend it in, like drag it into my eyeshadows. And with this blush, this is a blush by Makeup Revolution. The color is called Rose Kiss, and I'm just gonna go on with that, just a tiny bit. It's very pinkish, especially after I set it. So I've already got a red blush underneath. I don't want too much blush, so I'm just gonna go in a little with this. It's such a gorgeous pink lip. Usually when I put my blush, I concentrate here first and then I drag the leftovers there. Oh, gorgeous. Then on the other side, concentrate it here first and then drag the excess there. I am still not putting any product yet because when we looked at the video at the beginning, this bit of my eyes was naturally bright, so I followed that when I'm doing my makeup, so my makeup still looks like me. I'm going to spray this and go in my final round of powder, then I'll do my eyes and then we'll set this makeup. I'm going to be doing like a makeup transition, and all my makeup transition videos are usually on my TikTok, so go have a look at the before and after. Look at that, my nose is looking snatched and I didn't have to do too much. Oh my god, this look is already great, but there's more to make it perfect, so I'm gonna do that more. A lip would tie this together, and my eyeliner just, oh my god, my eyeliner ties this so well. I'm gonna go in with a tiny bit more powder, but just a little bit. So I'm not gonna do too much powder because I do also want that natural glow to still be there. You can already see like my nose is getting oily. That's why I don't do too much with my nose, because it gets really oily real quick. And you can say, well, maybe because if you're using too much setting spray, it's needed. I need it. I don't care if my nose doesn't like the setting spray. As long as the rest of my face like that setting spray, I'm gonna use it. I'll just fix the makeup on my nose. My next favorite part, my eyes and my eyeliner. This ties my look together. I'm gonna use a dark brown eyeshadow. I'm gonna use the dark brown bit there. I've tried black for that, but it just makes me look, I don't like the way it made me look. So I always stick to dark brown. And also because I've got dark brown there, I could just blend it in together. So I'm using a flat brush, but it's also like fluffy, so I'm just gonna rub that in, maybe a bit closer underneath. Just gonna drag that. You could also use like a brown pencil if you got this, but I just feel like it's easier to do your eyeliner with. If you're learning how to do eyeliner, just grab a skinny, how would I say, just grab like a tiny brush like this and put powder on it, eyeshadow on it, and just use that to do your eyeliner instead of using like the actual eyeliner. So I just feel like it's great if you're learning to do eyeliner. And also don't like things at the bottom. I don't like putting things in my eye, like on my, what is it called, I don't like putting things there, so it makes my eyes water. But if I just slightly fluff things there, it works. I just kind of like drag it a bit there too, so blend this with whatever eyeshadow I've got there, which is that same color. And it also gives me like a base for when I'm doing my eyeliner. Then I take that shimmer again, just a tiny bit, because a little goes a long way. I'm just gonna introduce it there because I feel like that space there looks empty. I'm just gonna make it brighter. Now for my selling point, my eyeliner. Eyeliner was like the one makeup bit I knew how to do before I knew how to do the rest of my face. So eyeliner is just my selling point. I said earlier that I just follow the base of my eyes and just follow my eyes actually. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I use this, but I wonder if I should go back to like when I was learning to do makeup, I used the one where it has like the stick, I just take it out of the pot and then apply that directly instead of like this felt tip one. I found that easier when I was learning to do my makeup, but it might be different for everyone. I'm planning to go back to that, but for now I'm just using this. It's from Kmart as well. It's called BYS, that's the name. I think it's waterproof, but I never trusted it, so I just felt tip I just take that. I am going to be starting with the base first. So I just see how that bit there is like darker and like follows my eyes, and that bit there is like darker and follow my, that is natural, like naturally my eyes, so I'm just gonna follow that exactly to the T. Draw the lower line first. Okay, easily just smoke it out. So I've connected it right to my bottom waterline. I can literally smoke it out and fix it later, but it gives me like a great starting point. One thing with your eyeliner is it's not always gonna look the same, but you have to learn the illusion of making it look like it was the same. So when I start with my lower line, it gives me like if I follow my actual line, like the actual lower waterline of my eyes, it gives that illusion that it's the same because it's exactly like where my lower waterline, where my waterline is, like my lower, oh my god, that bit there. If I follow that and I follow that, if I follow that bit on this side and I follow that bit on this side, it gives that illusion that it's the same even if it's not the same. Once you get that line, don't try to fix it like I'm doing right now, because you could actually mess things up. So for the top bit, I am just gonna do a straight line, ignoring my crease. I'm just gonna do that straight line on top of that crease. That's exactly how I learned it years ago, and I'm not gonna change it because it works. So on the top there, just draw that straight line. Like it's gonna be angular, but like it's just like a straight line. Oof. Don't do it with your eyes closed. Your eyes is not gonna be closed all day, so just draw it while your eyes is open. I don't do my eyeliner up to the front there because I don't feel like there's a need for that. It doesn't work my eyes that way, so I'm just gonna stop right there. I'm gonna do it on this side, straight line, and just drag it. Stop right there. See? Straight line. There we go. Then I can fill it in. I do like massive eyeliner. I love me a black thick eyeliner. It matches my eyes so well. Look at that. It makes my eyes pop. You know how I said I'm gonna blend that bottom bit to that bottom line I drew earlier to the rest of my eyes at the bottom? I'm gonna do just that. Okay, that brush there, I'm just gonna use that to drag that bottom eyeliner that I drew on my eyeline, just so it's blended to the rest of that brown eyeshadow. Would you look at that? I am going to go in with my final setting spray. Let's try this as well. It doesn't really mattify my face, it gives me that glowy, dewy look, but it works great. As always, start the fan first, 1 2 3, before I set my face, so that as soon as I set my face the fan goes on. Set the side a bit more because I feel like I have enough product on this side but not this side, so I'll be careful. Spray first before you put it on your face, because sometimes it sprays like droplets and you can literally ruin your face with like your makeup with that. So check, test spray first before you actually spray it on your face. I'm gonna do it on my forehead because I didn't put my thing there, because I didn't get enough on there. This is to set the face. This says it mattifies the makeup, but it still gives me that dewy glow from underneath, and I love it because it makes me look like a glazed donut, a beautiful glazed donut. I'm going to be doing my mascara. This is the mascara that I use. So this is like a curly one mascara. Do your mascara however you like. The point of this mascara is not to like make my eyelashes look longer, but rather to make them look thin, because after all that concealer and everything, they're not their original color anymore, which is like black. So this is just to add more color to them. I do my lower eyelashes as well, not just the top one. And because I have fuller eyelashes, I never had the obligation to do falsies, and I hate falsies. no matter what forces I'm using, it just feels heavy on my eyelid. Like the moment I put that forces on, I just keep getting that urge to like take them off and pluck them out. I also add it to the front a bit. Now for my favorite part, the lips. I already put Vaseline on my lips, so it's still moisturized and I could just go in straight with the product. As for my lip, I also follow the shape and the shade of my lips. The edges of my lip there is a lot darker. This bit is like light brown and this bit is pink, and that is exactly how I follow that. I follow that to the T when I do my actual lip thing. I use a eyeliner as a lip liner because I use black, and I don't think there's a black lip liner, and even if there is, it's probably gonna be like 30-40 bucks anyways. This pencil thing was so long and it cost me like $2. I think I even got it for free. So a black lip liner, and I'm just going to go on the edge of my lips. I've got like they call it like a double lip kind of thing, where up front it looks like my lips start from there, but my lips actually start from up here. So I can either put it there. If I start from there and I don't put it there, like it looks like I'm underlining my lips. So I always like do that and then start from there. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I just blend the top with the bottom. Blend the top with the bottom. So go in. But sometimes use my hand. You can use your hand if you want. That's one thing I hate about Vaseline. You get that white bit. Going with this Rimmel London. I'm not sure what color that is, but it's like this plum color. Going on top, directly on top of that black. I'm just gonna blend it with the top one as well. Perfect. So you can see how I've already created like a gradient, and all you can see there is the pink bit of my lip. And for that one, I either use a clear gloss. I have this clear shimmer gloss from Romand as well. This was actually trending one time like that. I love this, but I have to reapply it separate during the night because it's not as moisturizing, but it's great because it has that shimmer bit to it. But I also have the Summer Friday Everyday Lip Balm. I just put that straight on that bit because it's like a lip balm anyways, so it keeps that bit hydrated and I don't have to keep reapplying every time. So I just go in straight on top, just on that bit there with my pink lip, the pink part of my lips. Put it just on that pink bit, making sure it doesn't get to that wine colored bit. So, and that's it. This is the same glam I've been doing every time. Like this is my full glam. This is my birthday dinner look. This is the same glam. This is my first makeup tutorial, so if I do miss out something or if you want more details about a certain product, just pop them into the comments. So yeah, I hope this turned out great for you. And if it doesn't, keep practicing. You'll always get better at it because makeup is all about practice and using the right techniques, and you don't have to basically break the bank for your makeup products. So yeah, see you in the next video.